Hello,
Hello.
welcome to WhiSKR Whispers. Rick is
That
on
was
the bottom once again because I had to leave and come back in because fuck my camera. But tonight we are here to talk about
something that we all have.
A lot of in some cases and a growing amount in other cases. And I'm talking about debt.
Yes, definitely growing here.
There's something else that all of us have that we shall be talking about today, and that is assholes.
Yes, they've all been sold.
Mine has just been shitting all over everything lately.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing well. Are you healthy?
Yes. Yeah. Well, no, probably not. I mean, I haven't had a checkup since 2006. So.
Was that your exit checkup?
Yeah, that is exactly what that was. Good on you for knowing your dates, sir.
And was that kind of a what's the word I'm looking for?
An ass covering exercise?
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
Was it kind of like, okay, 5 minutes, let me feel your testicles. Okay, bye-bye.
Now, would you like to guess how many times I have been denied VA healthcare benefits since then?
16.
Questions open to you too, Steve.
Knowing you, I reckon you probably would have applied for it once, been denied, and then never bothered applying for it again after that.
The answer is actually twice, because I banged my head against that wall in 2 different states.
Yeah.
And wait, there's it's a federal level agency, but state level decision making based on local implementation?
Well, not so much based on local implementation and not so much state-based, but different localities do have different governing boards and whatnot. And unless things are going all the way to the top, it's not like there's a central agency. So it can make a difference. Also, on a more practical matter, your VA rep can also make a difference. And while the first one that I had was great, and the second one was also pretty fucking great, I also figured that, their bosses might also make a difference. So it was definitely worth trying again once I got back to Florida.
Why don't you just try daily?
Make it your
just try what? Dealing?
Daily. Just make it your full-time job.
Yeah.
Because it's a full-time job that doesn't pay anything.
So you can't just keep sending the form in over and over and over?
No, the VA is not actually a branch of the military or anything separate with the military. The VA, basically, they don't have to deal with you if they don't want to. So if you make yourself a thorn in their sides, it's not going to help your case. They're going to push you to the bottom of their caseload. It's one of those situations where your best bet is to be on their good side.
So why do you have to go to the VA versus my father-in-law, who's a retired Army lieutenant colonel, who still has TRICARE?
Retired.
Oh, so you have to put your 20 in to keep getting the actual decent, humane healthcare?
Yes.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, in order to get out and still be on TRICARE, that is a retirement benefit.
Jesus, fuck. That is ridiculous. And if they're trying to take his TRICARE away, I know that for a fact.
I knew that for a fact too.
It's the MO. But what we're here to actually talk about today is something medical that we all have. Is not medical ethics, but why is hair not considered part of a healthy regime? Why can't you go to your doctor and say, why is my hair this thing? Why is my hair dry? Why is my hair tangled? Why do you have to outsource this to a hairdresser? Is hair not part of the body?
God damn it!
Is it not part of Rick's VA plan?
No, because Rick doesn't fucking have one. Were you not listening?
I'm literally about to refute everything you just said.
Is it medically necessary to have hair?
Is it medically necessary to have hair? I will go on a fucking hard limb and say no.
So would I
mean, chemotherapy would say that no, it is not medically necessary to have hair.
But chemotherapy also kills you. Like,
what about for my mental health? I feel like my hair is part of my mental health.
Like
yes. Now there is an argument I can get behind.
Yeah, but I went to my doctor at some point and told him, "Hey, I think my hair is thinning," and he's like, "Well, there's this drug now. It's like this old prostate medication that apparently makes hair grow back." I'm like, "Okay, I'll try it." He's like, "You know what? I like you. So rather than making you buy the brand name one that's like designed for use on hair, I'll give you a prescription for the generic and pretend there's something wrong with your prostate. And I just need you to cut the pills in 10." And I was like, "Okay." So he's like, "Buy a pill cutter." I took this thing for 3 fucking days and I felt insane. Just like, I can't even describe the feeling. So that's one instance of healthcare being like a subject of debate with my primary care physician. Then another time I went to my dermatologist, and after he made me lift my nutsack to left to right to check for moles under the scrotum, as he called it, I told him that my scalp was itchy, and he prescribed me a very, very potent shampoo that it turns out was for people who have dandruff, which I've never had. So there are medical cases involving hair, not to mention alopecia or other things.
What if you're...
I'm kind of lost in the details. What the fuck is your argument?
He's just an old man telling stories about the time when he left the house.
Which isn't very often. Hair can be a medical issue.
Particularly if it gets stuck in a piece of heavy machinery.
Like long sleeves, right?
Yeah. Or jewelry or
ties.
Digits. Yeah, I mean...
Which is why the finger has nothing on it.
Or comically so, bow ties.
Because I know that if I'm going to fuck with heavy machinery, I'm going to forget to take my ring off.
What about your beard? What do you do with your beard when you're fucking with heavy machinery?
This is generally my approach.
You hadn't considered that. You lean in to make sure the saw's level, and then your beard gets wrapped around the...
You could say that your instinct is not to lean in, because when he started that line of questioning, you were leaned the fuck in on your camera.
My instinct when using heavy machinery, especially the
is to pay a man.
No. It's to come out with my safety equipment, briefly put my safety equipment on, realize how uncomfortable it is, then take off all my safety equipment. That
did not answer the question. That just set the stage for your epic failure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how a hedge trimmer could really fuck with my beard unless I tried to trim my beard with the hedge trimmer. A lathe could potentially get me.
A drill? A circular saw? A drop saw?
A drop saw, maybe. But what do you guys do with your beards when working with heavy machinery? Or Rick, what the fuck do you do with your hair?
Hair is easy.
So you just bun it up
right here.
Yeah.
One hair tie right here. One hair tie right here, and that shit's tucked into my shirt.
Yep.
I never even thought of that.
You can do a man bun with a skull cap.
No, you cannot. You got one hair tie right here, one hair tie right here, one hair tie right here, and that shit's tucked into your shirt.
Steve, can you do a man bun for us to show me how to do it as someone who's growing? No. I have hair elastics. Right. Not right here. Yes, right. No, not right here.
Jesus Christ, figure it out, fucker.
Yeah, I have 2 brushes.
I have a brush and a comb somewhere.
I actually don't have my brushes. I didn't grab them. But since I knew we were talking about this, I grabbed my shampoos and conditioner.
Are those matching bottles?
I'm being groomed by these two veterans of longer hair as I grow Jesus hair or attempt to prior to losing my hair. And
in a heavy machine industrial accident.
Exactly.
Which is entirely preventable by following these sage words of advice we're about to give you.
He's going to lose it because it's going to get caught in the gears of a bobcat.
I have not seen Bob the last 2 days, or 3 days now. I was telling Rick. Yesterday, I believe.
Well, to be fair, no one's seen Bob Barker in the last few days.
I don't get it.
The greatest hero of my entire life has perished.
Oh.
Don't forget to get your cats and dogs spayed and neutered.
Yes, please. Always remember to get your pets spayed and neutered.
Adopt,
Hashtag
don't shop.
Not sponsored.
Hashtag absolutely sponsored.
So this episode began when Kevin said, "How do you brush your hair?" To some extent, I believe those were his words.
Yes.
And it's a question that's haunted me now for many weeks. I mean, that just looks like a piece of PVC with nails hammered through
it. It's a wet brand. At first, I thought that meant you had to use it when your hair was wet, but I found that not to be the case.
No.
Do
not brush wet hair.
Why?
You comb wet hair.
Oh, well, I have a comb somewhere here too.
Why is because it fosters breakage.
Is it normal that there's a ton of hair in my hairbrush that I need to like pull out like this?
Yes. Because brushes foster breakage.
Yes.
Is it also normal that it's so goddamn soothing to brush my hair because it massages my scalp?
Yes, that is the entire purpose behind
But I can tell you don't take care of your hairbrush because I have black hair. This one has white bristles. Do you see any hair on it?
Well, I'm new to this.
My wife is holding up a sign. She says I brush it for him. And she does, and she enjoys it. And
so do you.
Fills me with pain.
And in fact, put the headphones on her so I can say that. And so do you, motherfucker.
Meredith has never brushed my hair. She has begrudgingly tied a.
Has she held your hair back as you vomited?
No, but I've definitely done that to her. The first time I saw her topless, in fact.
4, not 2, 4.
Now, I know you brush your hair back, but are you also supposed to brush your hair forward like this?
Pick a direction. Stick to that direction.
So, if I want to be like refined to go out for the evening and have a mullet.
That's a big if.
Yes.
Yeah. If they let you out of the house with that ankle bracelet of yours.
But if I want to pretend I'm a hipster, do I just basically do like this?
No, you just lie down on the floor for a few hours and roll around a few times while you're napping and then do nothing and then you leave the home.
I mean, this is hipster hair.
I believe. Honestly, you look like what Ed Sheeran wishes.
It's an improvement. Yeah, it's an improvement.
I mean, I used to have this general...
Next week on WhiSKR Whispers, we will be examining tooth hygiene, and Kevin will brush his teeth for the first time in 3 days.
You don't want to do that.
By days, you mean years.
By years, you mean ever. My parents abandoned me as a child.
Now we just need to get a salad bowl and put it on top of his head and use a pair of scissors to give him a proper bowl cut.
Can I have some paracetamol?
Or perhaps a colander cut where you just let the wild hair go through the holes of the colander and then you cut it at whatever length penetrated the colander?
Whose hair fits through a fucking colander?
Are you aware that the human hair is one of the thinnest pieces of material we are aware of?
I could literally go get my colander right now. And
that's because you don't have enough hair, fucker.
Okay, I have a fucking high quality colander. Like,
are you saying that an individual strand of your hair would not fit through the holes of your colander?
No, it definitely would. What I'm saying is that it would need to be like pushed into the colander.
No. You put the colander on your hair, then you apply a vacuum to the top of the colander.
I'll be right back. I have to go upstairs.
He's going to come back with a colander on his head.
This is going to suck.
I'm going to come back with 2 colanders.
He's gonna go and make worship with the flying spaghetti monster.
This motherfucker. Oh, Jesus.
So this is the part of the show where we tell you that a hair colander is not a hair care.
No, a colander should not be part of your hair care.
But what about if you were trying to do a perm? Aren't those perming machines sort of look like hair colanders on the inside?
I mean, maybe, but that is.
Are we just going to give him a perm?
Or that is administered by a licensed professional.
Wait, hairdressers need to be licensed?
Or at least
I just went to the lawnmower repairman
for minimum wage and pays for a booth and went to school for at least 10
minutes. 10 minutes.
Not to throw any shade on hairdressers. Some of them are fucking magnificent.
That is a fucking
That's
tiny
a sieve,
colander.
not a colander, you fucknut. It's
literally a colander. It was sold to me as a colander on Amazon. How is this not a colander?
It's too small.
It's too fucking small. Like, by a long shot.
It will drain a whole pound of spaghetti.
Who the fuck cooks a pound of spaghetti?
Who doesn't?
Everybody. I have never cooked a pound of spaghetti in my life.
Is that a colander for
spaghetti for me? I am making 3 pounds of it.
You cook 3 pounds of spaghetti at once.
You just cook the whole fucking packet where I'm from.
Exactly.
That's 454 grams, which is a pound. Spaghetti.
If you're buying a pound of spaghetti at a time, you are wasting your money and your life, sir.
How big are your bags of spaghetti?
As big as I fucking want them to be.
Do you go to like the spaghetti bulk barn?
Yes, we have one.
No. He just trims a few locks from his hair, and then he's got spaghetti.
And for the record, this is an RSVP.
My hair is infinitely more valuable than pasta.
Dude,
I treat my durum wheat on my head.
This is an RSVP endurance 4-quart precision.
Endurance.
I'm hearing the SEO in the title of this product.
It's a Tier 3 4-quart colander, hundreds of small holes spread, quick draining without losing a single strand of spaghetti or grain of rice. It's dishwasher safe.
You're dishwasher safe, bitch.
Product link down below.
Hashtag not sponsored.
It's possible that you don't think it's a big colander because of how big my head is. Have you thought of that? It's
possible that you think your head is that big because of how big your ego is.
That's also possible.
Yeah. So hair is not spaghetti.
Hair is not fucking spaghetti.
Do not rinse your hair in a colander.
Decent-sized colander.
Do not attempt to place pharmaceutical hair products in the colander.
What do I do with it then, other than cook 1 pound of spaghetti at a time?
Throw it away and get a real colander.
You This one was 27. Do they even have a bigger one? They have a 5-quart. How big are your
like the colander should be able to you would not be able to pour 5 liters of liquid into that because most pasta recipes call for cooking the pasta noodles with 5 liters of water. If you were to pour 5 liters of water into that, you would have all of your pasta in your sink and or floor.
Would you like me to literally go make pasta live?
No.
No, we don't want to watch you fail. That is not what this channel is about, sir.
The only thing I've ever lost through this colander is
your will to live.
My dignity and my will to live. But also Japanese rice. The really small grain rice has gone through this colander, I must admit. Broken grain. And I felt robbed by each of those grains of rice.
But so if you were,
if I was what now?
I said how many? Go ahead, Steve.
No, I'm interested. How many grains was it? Did you account for the value of the grains? Did you account for the labor lost?
You said you
did you account
you
for
felt
the
robbed by each one of those grains. So how many fucking grains was it?
Quantify.
I estimated,
cents per grain.
I estimated that it was perhaps 78
in Satoshis.
Satoshis. You know what? It was 78 Satoshis worth of fucking rice. Okay, each grain of rice is probably worth about a Satoshi, right? A Satoshi is
1/10 millionth of $29,000.
Is that a
not 262? So no, sorry. Each grain of rice is 1/3 of a Satoshi, let's say. Holy fuck, that's some loud thunder out there.
So with this,
yes.
Now you need to convert that to calories.
Let's see.
I'm going somewhere with this.
I'm sure you are. How many calories per grain?
I just want him to accidentally go how many calories in a Satoshi.
So for those of you who are not aware, and I'm sure this varies across varieties, a grain of rice contains approximately 0.03 calories. So 78, it's basically going to be 2.1 calories here.
2.1 calories in a single grain of rice.
No, for 78 grains of rice.
Oh, so 70 grains of rice. Okay, so
2.34 calories.
You realize that most people watching this have burnt more calories than it took you to explain that.
Do you realize I probably
got him.
I probably burnt 5 times more calories doing this. But the reality here is that I will now be able to eat more rice. So doesn't it all kind of
what you're saying is that you shorted rice by buying a shitty colander.
But I buy expensive rice.
Wait, why are you even straining your rice?
You don't rinse your rice before you cook it?
Okay,
you
but I don't do that in a colander. I do that in a fucking strainer.
Yeah. There's a distinct difference.
Are you talking about the strainer as in the thing with like the micro holes?
Yes.
The mesh. The mesh.
I have that too. I use that for flour. For straining flour.
And for rinsing shit.
But the thing is this colander is so high quality that the pierced holes are so small that the rice generally does not go through unless you're rinsing.
Okay, but by that logic, I also don't use a cheese grater because my cheese grater has lots of small holes, and I certainly don't use that as a colander. Although it'd be fucking hilarious the next time I need to drain pasta to use my grater as a colander.
Yes, it fucking would. Thank you for going there because I had the same thought earlier, and it just wasn't the right time to say it.
Like the side of your grater that does pecorino, because you've got like a box grater, I'm sure. None of this other
with 4 sides.
Modern shit, yeah. you just use the side that they're meant to use for like pecorino or like lemon rind or whatever, and you use that as your colander. That's essentially, you've got not a colander there, sir. You've got a fucking shitty grater, not even a sieve. They should add that to their SEO. Shitty grater. I want to see you get a block of cheese and grate the block of cheese against that so-called colander of yours.
Again?
Yes, I want to see colander cheese action.
I want to read the
reviews. This is now a cooking podcast forevermore.
This is a great colander. No mesh screen folded.
Great. Oh, they said great. Does that mean great as in you're going to grate cheese on it?
Yo, it's sold everywhere. Someone from Italy wrote "Prodotto eccellente." Someone in the United States wrote "like."
And what does that translate to in English? I am an idiot.
It means excellent product. But see, I was educated in Latin, sir.
Excellent product for idiots.
Someone says looks nice, easy to strain. I'll be right back, John.
He's gonna get a block of fucking cheese.
Assuming
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Honestly, like, I'm along for the ride, and I'm excited along with you. Like,
this is now a show and tell.
Using it to soften a block of butter will work better.
Yeah, or he could soften a block of butter with it. When you gotta like get butter down to smaller bits so it renders nicely into things.
I use a tool invented long ago for that purpose. That tool is called a knife.
We have to keep our butter in the fridge here in Australia town.
Oh yeah, I keep my butter.
Otherwise it just becomes a fucking puddle.
Yeah, like yeah.
We're gonna have him make a cheesecake because he's gonna come back with cheese, and we're gonna send him back up for butter, then milk and flour.
Okay, I'm down. Let's see how many times we can get Kevin off screen.
And then he's gonna use his dryer to cook the cheesecake.
Okay, now
his
this
clothes
is turning into Matt Pat, which I also don't have a problem with. Shout out to Matt Pat. Hashtag not sponsored. Film theory, style theory, game theory, food theory.
I mean, I've never made a cheesecake.
Neither have I, but I have enjoyed plenty of them.
Yes, I had some last night. It was a chocolate one.
I did not. We had a chocolate lava cake with some kind of peanut butter chocolate ice cream and bananas.
Is that a carrot?
Carrot and cheese.
Okay, so it's...
He forgot the butter.
Yeah.
So let's try grating. No grating action with the carrot. We try it on the inside.
So what you're telling me is it's not a great grater.
The cheese is sort of being... Yeah, it is grating the cheese, actually.
Excellent.
Into the colander. It's actually remarkably useful. It's like coloring. So what were we trying to prove here?
That it's a grater.
I think.
Because now if you go get some milk, butter, and flour, you can make a cheesecake.
I could. There's also a very hungry little doggy.
Is the pupper allowed grated cheese?
Yes.
She shouldn't be, but I guess give her some.
Look, he's the one who's going to have to clean up her lactose-ridden shit.
Hello, Rogue. Who's a pretty girl?
You want to speak? Speak. Oh! Good girl.
Good girl.
That's very
now leave her unsupervised with the alleged colander.
Okay.
He said okay.
Because I know. It's just, and she will agree that it's not a sieve or a colander.
She'll also agree because it's not a grater because her fucking tongue won't be ripped to shreds.
Maybe.
Hey, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Looking
That's the
lovely,
first
by the way.
visual.
She's a real person.
I mean, I never doubted that. I never
I'm your
took you for
imaginary
the
Canadian
incel with an
girlfriend.
imaginary girlfriend.
Did you hear that?
What?
She's my imaginary Canadian girlfriend.
hear?
Where's my vape pen?
I don't know.
I don't know. Did you put it in the colander?
No.
That would be great.
Since I'm recording in the truck,
I would pay money to see him fall out of his chair right now onto the ground. Yeah.
is this not how you guys do things? Like, you get a flashlight to look for stuff in the dark?
I would not consider you as being in the dark, sir.
I'm in the dark.
About
No,
colanders and hair care.
Yes.
About colanders and hair care.
I cannot find my
Is that a box of rat poison
where?
in your
In your
hand?
fucking hand.
This? I mean,
it's a book
Eastern
about
Europe,
Eastern Europe.
second edition, so I guess it is rat poison if we're talking about Russians.
Oh,
But otherwise, it's a very good book. That I'm.
Have you seen Simon's answer to Yevgeny? You can say his last name. I can't.
Evgeny Prigozhin?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about that motherfucker?
I'm just saying. I know you're a follower of Simon. He did
You're talking about Simon Ostrovsky, right?
No, Simon fucking Whistler.
Oh, that's Simon. Sorry, there are two Ukraine. Yes. Okay. Yes. There's also Simon Ostrovsky, who's he's a journalist who was kidnapped.
can you write to them and ask them very important questions regarding the distinction between a sieve and a colander, and provide them with high quality photographs and get them to use their journalistic skills to validate?
I don't know about Simon Whistler, but I can for Simon Ostrovsky because my friend used to fuck him. So yes.
Yeah, I mean,
you probably could for Simon too.
If I was a journalist and I got a letter asking me to explain the intricacies of sieves versus colanders.
Hashtag not sponsored, but since the topic of today's cast is hair care, do check out Beard Blaze Beard Oil.
And
produced by Simon Whistler, or at least not produced by, but a creation of Simon Whistler.
I will put a link to the colander we've been discussing in the video description.
I will put a link to your ass.
on the advice of counsel, I cannot disclose whether or not we will receive income if you buy said colander via our link.
On the advice of counsel.
Maybe this should just be the format for the podcast. We just pick a shitty product and we affiliate market that shitty product in each and every podcast episode. But the podcast episode is just about that. So today we're talking about colanders.
But it's fucking good. It's the best colander I've ever had.
So what you're telling us is you've had a series of shitty colanders.
Well, every previous colander I've had was either shit from IKEA or shit that my working class grandparents had growing up. So possibly,
like, I mean, when I bought a colander isn't exactly a metallurgical marvel. It's
hey, motherfucker, can you make a colander?
I can get a metal bucket and drill tiny holes in it. That's a colander.
Yes, so can I. I can do it with a plastic bucket too, which would be IKEA style.
No, because the plastic bucket, you're going to pour boiling water into plastic. I don't know of any plastic bucket that can maintain boiling water.
I do know that some could, but still
the ones at the
I don't want that plastic in my fucking food. Thank you.
No, true, but the ones at the food prep store, the thing for...
Wait, are you telling me that there's a plastic grater?
I'm sure there is.
There is a plastic that can do anything greater than you.
Yes.
Plastic.
I'm just thinking like glass reinforced nylon as a grater.
Yes, there
You,
are.
sir, are a sick and twisted individual, and I like
there is
it.
an all plastic cheese grater with an ergonomic hand grip. It's a professional cheddar grater handheld, and it has a 1-star rating and sells for $11.99.
And has a
1-star
1-star rating.
Because it's
Motherfucker,
only
best arguments has a 1-star rating.
It would take 3 days to get here, but I mean, I'm happy to purchase it.
no. Because then when you send me your Canadian to Australian package, I'll find it in there with dirty cheese nuggets stuck to it.
Oh yes, I'm receiving.
But hey, at least there'll be dirty cheese dragon nuggets.
Someone wrote about this plastic cheese grater. This is bad product. It is waste cheese, and literally cut myself this.
Okay, so English isn't their first fucking language, but still, they straight up said this thing wastes cheese and will cut you.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, there's other tasks which are more heinous, but those are pretty high up on the list.
Yeah,
but Susan Stevens,
cutting you is one thing. A little blood is a little blood, but wasting cheese.
That's
it. Susan Stevens from the United States writes, stores easily, cleans easily, does not rust.
Okay, so it doesn't rust, but it wastes your cheese and takes your blood.
Maybe Susan Stevens is too old to see the blood or the wasted cheese.
Maybe. Or, the dirt that's left on it from the blood and the wasted cheese that are just stuck to the shit when she fucking cleans it and puts it away because she didn't rinse it off or wash it and instead just put it in the dishwasher thinking that was going to make it clean.
A more potent review would be something along the lines of
classic.
I bought this, and now I can't afford any cheese. My life is ruined.
Someone else from the United Kingdom, where people are known for their excellent command of English, wrote, "Quit expensive?" ?
What?
Yes, quit expensive, as in do not consent to the expense.
An American named Eric Davis wrote, cheese just sticks in holes and doesn't deposit on food. I must have received a lemon because other reviews are good. And I'm like, no, Eric.
I'm pretty sure if you tried to grate cheese with a lemon, you would have better results.
I've proven that I'm
using a fucking plastic goddamn grater.
The only citrus in this house right now is like concentrated lemon juice in a bottle.
Okay, well, how much salt is there?
A lot. Just like in your soul.
Pillars.
Wait, no.
Stalactites.
I disagree with that on the fundamental argument that object does not exist. Error 404. File not found.
No, the error now that I'm building this server is the error would actually be failed to fetch because it cannot find the object.
That's Gibrogue though.
What?
That's Gibrogue.
Oh,
failed to fetch.
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty. I'm just going to swing the topic to pet cemeteries now. And you have an IT administrator who had a dog, and to immortalize their dog, they have the epitaph on their little plaque on the memorial wall of failed to fetch.
Wow. That is beautiful, and I fucking love it.
The really funny thing about that is there's an NFT collection on wax called Tales of the Crypto. Shout out to I forget his name, but they were having the failed to fetch error on their web game. Pulpo is his name. So they made a zombie dog NFT, and called it failed to fetch. So been there, done that. I own it.
I feel like my wit is matched by one person now.
One.
Football?
Exactly one.
One.
I like it.
Because I'm trying to think of. Oh no, that's too dark.
Go ahead, please. Make it darker.
Another in this wall of pet avatars. They died doing what they loved, running.
You know, speaking of dogs and older dogs, and my dog that I love quite a bit, but who's sleeping. Why the fuck does she has 3 fucking beds, and instead of sleeping on her bed, she sleeps with her hip on her bed and her body on the carpet. I don't fucking get it. But when I was running up and down to fetch the colander and the cheese, she was not failing to fetch. This old geriatric 13-year-old dog was running because she knew I was going to get food. Because based on my schedule, this is when I eat. And when I went up the second time, she was like,
I think
what?
it's because you were moving, and when you are moving, you are going to get food.
No, sometimes it's very disappointing to her if I only get coffee. And if that's the case, I will sometimes give her a what she thinks is a treat, but what is actually medicine.
Doubling the disappointment. You are a cruel and evil master, sir, and I approve.
Sir, this medicine is fucking flavored with organic bone broth. Something you know quite a bit about.
That sounds more sophisticated than legitimate foodstuffs.
I actually buy these things for Rogue, where I mix boiling water with a powder to make either bone broth or bone broth diluted with goat's milk. And then I let it cool, and they call it like doggy beer, because it's kind of like beer for a dog.
I don't approve. What if your dog needed to go driving?
Well, I mean, dogs are kind of always drunk.
What if your dog needed to operate heavy machinery?
What if your dog needed to perform surgery on you?
Well, I mean, I guess she'd be using her mouth because she doesn't have opposable thumbs. Her dew claws are quite sharp. Oh, speaking of that, she has a split nail. I need to Google that later, how to fix it. And I need to know if I need to bring her to the vet or not. Which I don't feel like doing for something like that, but I will if necessary. So, Kevin, check dog split nail. I have to send myself little reminders, otherwise I forget the basic things.
Like breathing.
Should add something else to your reminder list. Buy a proper colander.
Okay, Steve, what kind of colander do you have? Do you even know, or is it Sharon that takes care of this?
No. I have a proper colander.
How many quarts or liters does it take?
An entire pot.
Yeah, so does fucking mine. It takes a 12-liter pot.
I don't believe you.
The holes are just that good.
I don't believe you.
Do I have to fucking make like
Pixar didn't happen, bitch.
Nudes for the win, but I mean, like, okay, yeah, I will film this video, but I will be naked while I do it.
As long as we don't see that, that's fine.
Yeah, right.
You'll see it on the Whisker Whispers OnlyFans, sponsored by.
But no, I will go get you an exciting and original instance of colander.
Oh boy, Rick, is your colander
I
anywhere
await
nearby,
your enlightenment shortly.
Or would you have to go buy a sleeping woman to find your colander?
No, mine's in the kitchen, but I have no interest in standing right now.
Oh, hey, Sean. We have a female guest who's not a bearded man on the podcast.
Hi. I'm Steve, and I went and had a quick shave.
and well done, I must say.
Yep.
You're
life-changing experience.
Looking lovely tonight. Are you guys going out to the thingy? Is that tonight?
He is. I'm not. Most of the information that they talk about goes over the top of my head most of the time. So I usually end up twiddling my fingers and playing on my phone most of the time. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just stay home and save money.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm back with my colander.
That's a sieve, doll. That's not a colander.
That's exactly.
I literally have.
If
one
you're going
of those.
if you're going to go get an interesting mix, go get the giant one.
The giant sieve or colander?
Like that was even more of a sieve than the one that we were making fun of Kevin for having.
But I have that sieve or a reasonable facsimile thereof. So I maintain
hoping that he brings back the giant one.
Me too.
Will the giant one?
It's right at the back, like in behind the toaster and whatnot.
Do you guys use your toaster often?
No, we very rarely ever actually have bread in the house.
Oh,
so
that's disappointing.
Oh,
is that what Steven was telling me once when he went to get bread, as if it was like a grand occasion? I think Crystal was
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much, because both me and Stephen were, it's like, oh, look, something with simple sugars and carbohydrates in it. Just, I had to wait, just wob, sort of thing. It's sort of like, so things like bread and potatoes and stuff. It's just, now this is a normal sized colander.
But why does it have so few holes?
I don't know. I wish the holes were all the way around, but it's like,
where's my colander? I think the dog carried it away.
Don't put it back in.
No, I wasn't going to. I was going whole packet of pasta.
See?
Okay.
A whole packet of pasta.
How many grams is that?
A whole packet of ready in 15 minutes. 500 grams.
Half a kilo.
Half a kilogram of pasta.
Could you put 2 of those in there?
Oh, I could.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So your colander can do a whole kilo. Mine can do half a kilo. Because here, pasta is sold in 454 grams.
Observe.
I see a lack of holes.
I do see a lack of holes. Like, it's pretty. But those holes are not completely...
Do you know how I use this colander?
You pour fucking water in it.
No. The pasta's in the pot. I put this over the top of the pot and then I pour the fluid out through this.
Oh.
Which he is correct. That's the proper way to do it. But
why?
Try doing that with yours and enjoy your burnt hands.
That is a fair point. I feel so dirty after you said that I'm going to wipe my hands with a Clorox wipe again. Not sponsored by Clorox. Would we accept a Clorox sponsorship if they offered?
Yeah, I know their money.
Yeah, I'd take money from a lot of organizations.
Would you take
money? You could do a lot worse than Clorox before I'm going to say no.
Would you take money from the military-industrial complex?
I was thinking Lockheed Martin, and I was thinking Lockheed Martin, and I was like, I could have a Lockheed. We could have a Lockheed Martin engineer on next week and have a good old chat about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The best types of metal to use in colanders.
Because the Hellfire missile is produced by
is made of colanders
by Lockheed Martin, alongside Boeing and Northrop Grumman.
They also made the first piece of equipment that ever got me interested in air travel, the SR-71 Blackbird.
Oh, the SR-71 Blackbird is a badass plane.
You're goddamn right it is, sir. Yes, we can take a fucking sponsorship from Lockheed Martin.
I mean, Raytheon would be fine too, but the gentleman who does that podcast, Beyond the Bastards, already...
Really, the only part of it that I would really have an issue with is the U.S. government.
Well, I have an issue with the United States of America writ large.
But that's why the only sponsorship I would have
Have
a
you-
problem
have
with
you-
would be the U.S. government.
Have you considered Lockheed Martin's goods and services for your issue? They can solve many problems.
So I'm putting in Lockheed Martin controversy. Oh, no problem. In 1976, there's a whole Wikipedia article called Lockheed Bribery Scandals.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Between 1970 and 1975, Lockheed
Allegedly.
paid Saudi arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi $106 million in commissions. His commissions started at 2.5% and eventually rose to as much as 15%. Khashoggi became, quote, for all practical purposes, the marketing arm of Lockheed. Adnan would provide not only an entree, but strategy, constant advice, and analysis. Damn! But it's not controversial that the Hellfire missile is used to blow up weddings. Okay.
That would be the controversy about its use, not its manufacture, sir.
Well, it would be the whole, does anybody object to this union? And if a Hellfire missile rocks in, somebody somewhere is objecting to that union.
Somebody in Nevada is objecting to that union.
Quite strongly.
I mean, this actually resonates quite well with the beginning of the campaign that we are about to undergo. Oh, speaking of which,
By campaign, he does not mean a military campaign.
Yes,
no,
he does.
no, not at all.
You don't know what you signed up for, fucking Steve.
Maybe.
You're just a private. I'm his second in command.
I know you're off every other Friday and will be joining us when you can. Is that like
when I'm not under attack by a Hellfire missile?
This week, if you were not under attack by a Hellfire missile or on vacation,
a Hellfire missile is
working, or would
analogous
this be
to
your
my
off week?
employment. This would be my working week. Next week is a 4-day week. Wonderful. That's
you go
exactly
back
what
to
I
work?
wanted to say.
You go
For
back
4
to work
days.
for the 4-day week?
Yep.
Why don't you
I'm
just
very
take more
pleased.
leave?
No,
Okay.
I like money.
mean, Don't you get paid while you're on leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I run out of leave, I need to work more to make more leave.
Don't you have like 200 days of accumulated leave?
Not exactly.
He has exactly 189.
176. Lots of leave.
I have no leaves. I have no trees. I'm not the owner of any actual trees.
Do you really not have a tree on your property?
I do.
Okay. Fair. I have a really big tree. I don't even know what
But
kind it is.
but to suggest that I have ownership of it is...
I have
Well-
19 magnolias on my property and a bunch of other stuff, which is also really cool. And most of them are 100 plus easily.
Damn. The only thing that would be better than magnolias is maple trees, so that you could make maple syrup.
I
bet
don't
you
think they would thrive in this environment, though.
they don't thrive in the swamps of Florida. What a shock. I would, however, say that excuse me. There's a strong argument to be made that if you lived on a property in Quebec with maple trees, 19 of them, for example, I bet you would tap the trees. Like, you would take the time to do this, I believe, Rick, and make homemade maple syrup. Would you not?
Goddamn right.
Are they
My
not
only
just
question
property
here
of
is
the
why
state?
19?
Wait,
Why
Rick,
would you
first,
stop?
Why would I start?
Why would you stop at 19?
Oh, I mean, they have to be adult maple trees to produce.
Yeah, they would
sufficient-
have to already be there.
Yeah. Otherwise, Rick would probably be dead by the time they started producing syrup. Well, they don't really
Hopefully.
produce syrup. They produce sap, which is boiled to make the syrup. The sap itself is pretty liquidy, so it needs to be not diluted. It needs to partially
Distilled.
evaporate. Yeah, just Well, not distilled.
Yeah, because I guess you're not collecting the steam and then.
Yeah, you're it's just like reducing a sauce, basically, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I would love to have my own maple trees and sell my own maple syrup.
See, if I had 19 trees, I would fully understand that there's no way I'm ever selling any of that except to my closest friends.
How much maple syrup does a tree produce per year, I wonder?
Not enough.
How much maple syrup does
more than your colander could possibly filter?
Touche. Steven, steady bringing the shit back to the original subject. Colanders.
I think we could probably use his colander as a water-going vessel.
The average yield from a single tap hole is from 5 to 15 gallons of sap a year. Under favorable conditions, they can produce between 40 and 80 gallons of sap. It takes 10 gallons of sap to produce 1 quart of syrup. So assuming you had the average yield of 10 with 19 trees...
How many tap holes per tree? That's really poor wording, because if I interpreted that as an engineer, which I'm not an engineer, and they said per tap hole, I would just go full capitalism mode and put 200 tap holes into the skeletal structure of a tree.
Normally it's like 2 to 4, depending on the size of a tree.
They need to rewrite that article for clarity.
With 19...
Because it's the same situation with your colander. It needs 1 to 2 tap holes, not 16,000.
Oh my god, 19 trees at average production yield. Rick would only be producing 19 liters of maple syrup a year.
Like I said, 19, I would not be fucking selling any except to my closest friends and the people I love.
Maple syrup price per liter is $11.81. Jesus fucking Christ. 19 trees is only $200 of maple syrup.
Yeah.
That's kind of insane. At minimum production. Assuming bad conditions.
Which is Florida. So, yeah, that's a safe assumption.
I mean, the safest assumption is that the trees get eaten by an alligator.
I mean, I don't think that's particularly likely, but I guess it's never off the table.
It's possible. It's unlikely, but, everything's possible.
But if you put it in a very fancy little bottle, you can sell 50 milliliters for like $7.
If I was that kind of an asshole, yes, I could.
Presumably, you could also just do that with store maple syrup.
Yes.
You just buy it in a generic jar, put it in a fancy jar, and you're just middlemaning it.
100%. I mean, who wouldn't do that?
We were saying at the start of this show, we're going to talk about things that everybody has, and we've established that everyone has a colander.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everyone has a colander,
though. Yeah. We need to start a charity for disimpoverished children who don't have colanders.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who we could colloquially say don't have a pot to piss in, and if you don't have a pot to piss in, then you don't have a pot to make pasta in, and if you don't have a pot to make pasta in, then you probably don't have much need for a colander either.
How are you going to catch your kidney stone to flavor your soup if you don't have a pot to piss in?
Problems that I have thankfully never had to figure out a solution for, sir.
I mean,
what are you having for dinner today? Oh, it's the neo-capitalist cuisine, kidney stones and rice.
I mean, what the fuck else do you think we'll be eating once AI takes over?
What do you mean once?
Kidney stone soup for everybody.
If you're lucky, it'll be your own. Then way you can call it minus Stony.
No, if you're lucky, the entire family will be producing kidney stones so you can have a denser soup, because that'll be your only source of nutrition. Because if I'm not mistaken, the composition of a kidney stone is
mainly calcium.
Yeah. Kidney stone composition is 80% calcium with a bit of phosphate, uric acid, struvite, and cysteine. We don't really
so that
need
would mean that everyone have strong bones, right?
Yeah,
also means everyone
they'd be very spooky.
So at
They'd have
least
strong
Pfizer would
skeletons.
lose a little bit on their stock price.
The stocks that only AI would be trading.
That was low-hanging fruit, man. Come on.
I am not ready for sentience.
You are not ready.
No, rarely am I.
You're not ready to drain your pasta. I'd say you have a few noodles missing.
Yo, homeboy, I drained some pasta 2 days ago.
A few noodles short of a pool party.
Motherfucker, I know how to swim, okay?
Slapped in the face with a wet noodle. A wet pasta noodle. Just like a whip. Has that happened in the kitchens you've worked in before, Rick?
No.
Have you ever had the urge to slap someone in the face with a wet pasta noodle?
No. If I have the urge to slap someone in the face, it is not with a wet pasta noodle.
What about with a poorly manufactured colander?
No, we don't have those in professional kitchens, sir.
Steve and Rick, I just had an idea. I'm going to be sending you each a package. Why don't
Cooking
I
show?
buy... Sorry?
Cooking show?
Sure, but I'm going to purchase 2 of these colanders and send one to each of you.
I'll refuse the delivery.
I will put it in a separate package, and I will pre-order Australian packaging with Australian flag.
To our friendly residents at to whom it may concern.
What could I send it with to make sure you'd open it?
Oh, I know.
What? Put it in a giant bag of money?
No, a crucible so I can melt it down and make something useful out of it.
And would you make use of appropriate safety regarding your beard and hair while doing so?
I have a large fear of fire because if you don't know, beards are flammable.
Yeah, my beard's calm. I smoke. My beard, sort of. My
You
beard's
see, that fills me with grave concern.
Pourquoi? I mean, why?
I mean, you're taking moments of your life away every time you smoke, but beard, lighter, just don't start using beard oils in any great quantity because the US may invade your beard, but yeah, you may also achieve an ideal stoichiometric ratio, and then Lockheed Martin may want to understand the engineering environment in which the rapid decomposition of your beard occurred in.
I wonder if there's any active missile defense here in Calgary.
It would be a discriminate weapons system if it only took out beards.
Fair. But see,
there's a reference there that I think you missed.
I got it. I very, very much got it. Allah Akbar. I got it. God is great. Fictional, but great. Now
God is great at not existing.
Yes.
Anyways.
But I only smoke about a cigarette a day, maybe 1.5 at most. I used to smoke 2 packs a day and use a lot much more beard oil than I do now. And my beard has never caught on fire. The only time my beard has burned is when I've run out of cigarettes and resorted to smoking butts from my ashtray.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I resorted to smoking my own beard.
that would be a good reason for it to catch fire.
I mean, people must smoke hair somewhere.
Honestly, I would push back on that one. I would say that no matter who you are, no matter where you are, that smell is one of the worst things that has ever happened on the planet.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking repulsive. I have to entirely concur with that. But
second only to the smell of pasta flowing through a not colander.
Exactly.
But I still think it's absolutely hilarious, Steve, that you spent all this time shit talking his colander with me and then literally brought out a fucking sieve.
It looks like something a high school student made in a machine shop with a fucking drill. Just like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, ours was probably the cheapest one available at the time, but you know what? It's functional.
Do you know what mine is? Super functional.
Look, not everything that's super is a good thing.
But you know the main reason why I bought this colander now I remember is, and I had forgotten this. I don't like when you pour your pasta out and the colanders that don't have a stand, the bowl is sitting directly in your dirty sink. So I wanted a colander.
Mine has a stand.
Okay, no, here's the thing. That's why you get a colander that is fucking big enough that the handles rest on the side of your sink.
Yeah.
Or alternatively,
that is why your colander is a failure.
Yes.
Because it ain't sitting on the side of shit. You know what the little stand there is for? For when you're cooking up bacon bits and you want to save the grease. That shit's not there for fucking water.
Because guess what? You can use it this way too.
See, now you can.
And you can't because you got a fake ass bullshit colander.
Are you saying that all of your colander is compatible with all of your fucking pots?
No, because you only cook pasta in one pot.
Bullshit colander, but that's how the shit's designed.
And like, what's the point in taking that risk of doing it the right way / upside down when you could
because the food never comes out of the pot.
Because then you add your sauce to that pot.
Okay, you know what I do?
And cook it properly.
I drain my fucking pasta in the sink, put the sauce in the pot, then add the pasta.
No.
What?
Because you want the starch in the pot to help the sauce stick to the pasta.
That's why you reserve pasta water.
You don't need to if you use the colander properly.
You live in Australia, which is literally upside down. Your toilets flush the other way.
Yeah, and we know to conserve water, but we don't conserve our pasta fucking water.
Pasta water has a large number of uses.
Look, take this from a man who wanted to conserve water and boiled hot dogs because I wanted to eat hot dogs. And then I'm like, I've got some old eggs in the fridge. I should hard boil them before they go off. Do not ever boil eggs in hot dog water.
What does it do?
It makes your hard-boiled eggs taste like hot dogs.
Yes, that's to be expected. But, I mean, that could be a good thing if you eat high-quality hot
dogs. And also smell like hot dogs for the entire time that they're in your fridge.
Are you referring to nitrates rather than hot dogs, sir?
Well, nitrates are a byproduct of the hot dog making experience.
Is it truly a hot dog?
Yeah, no, I mean, sodium nitrate.
I'm certain that once you get to that level of high quality, it is no longer a hot dog; it is a Frank.
No, there's a whole other level of hipster butcher shops where you go and they have the regular sausages, the fancy cuts of meat.
Yes, but you don't boil those in water.
Yeah, well, you could.
You steam them.
Yes, you steam them.
You could in the same way that you could vote for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Many people did.
Yes. Many people do. Those people are idiots.
Yes. They're not welcome to watch Whisker Whispers.
No. We want them. We want them.
They will be insulted regularly.
No, they are welcome to be insulted.
Yes. Exactly. And when you guys come to our live show in Kiribati, which is
Will
kind
be
of
at
the
a
point.
sold-out venue. The stands will be full. However, the attendance limit is 3.
What is the largest venue in Kiribati? Is well, do we want to do outdoors or indoors?
Well, the largest stadium in the world is a cricket stadium in India.
The biggest
Dream
stadium,
big.
the national stadium in Kiribati, holds 2,500 people. It's called Bairiki National Stadium.
That doesn't seem very national.
No, it
Oh
does
my
not.
god, guys! Google Bairiki National Stadium.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Bairiki. I didn't realize this looks worse than like a 10th division English football stadium by a mile.
I don't even know where this place is.
You don't know where Kiribati is?
Are you talking about New Zealand?
No, I'm talking about Kiribati, which is in the middle of the ocean.
No, thank you.
It has a sand surface. They can't even grow grass.
No, thank you.
The stadium is the home ground of the Kiribati national football teams. Despite this, it has never been used for an international match because Kiribati have never played an international football match at home. The sand
However, they
surface
have, unlike some civilized nations, mastered the act of proper colander use.
Yes. What about Kiribati concert venues, though? Let's see if there is one. Okay, so we could rent an event venue.
How about no?
We can
But we
rent an
don't-
event venue and just be perplexed as to why.
The problem is when I go to Event Planner and I search for all event venues in Kiribati, I don't even get the option to filter by number of people because there are none. There are
That's
no
a good
conference
reason to
halls.
not get the option.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there is a place called Hikers Bay, and there's a place called, and see, this is where we're going to have
You're
our
going to
first
need
live-
to sell a lot of colanders to make this a reality.
Yeah, but Tarawa in...
You're
is
going
one
to
of
need
the
to sell more colanders.
Okay, so we can rent a bar space in Tarawa that holds 60 people. I mean, or we could do it on a cruise ship when they dock there. Those are our two options.
I think I like the third option for just not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's let's do something else.
Yeah,
Where's our
because I
live-
mean, when the cruise ship docks there, are you going to tie the cruise ship up to sand? Doesn't
How long is Sydney to Kiribati flight time?
I mean, at the 2010 census, the population of Bairiki is 3,524.
Oh, the quickest way only takes 14 hours from Sydney.
only.
Yeah, and it's a direct flight.
You're a direct flight.
Always.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, Kiribati is right to the east of Nauru, to the north of Tuvalu, and to the south of the Marshall Islands. How do you not know what I'm talking about?
It's Nauru.
So you know Nauru, but you do not know...
Yeah, Australian governments have sent asylum seekers there to be imprisoned through a multinational anti-asylum seeking policy.
Didn't you also send some to Papua... Wait, oh no, they were fleeing Papua New Guinea. That's true, right?
Yeah, and they got sent to Nauru.
Why not Solomon Islands or Vanuatu or New Caledonia? They're closer.
Because I imagine they don't get as much Lockheed Martin funding from the Australian government as Nauru does.
Fair point.
To go full circle. But yeah, I'd really like to talk to an engineer at Lockheed Martin about the ideal colander composition. I mean, they're experts in fluid dynamics and all that sort of stuff.
We could always email their media department and ask them if they had a bearded engineer who'd be willing to come on our podcast
to talk about computational fluid dynamics as it applies to the common kitchen colander.
Yeah, and how it could potentially be weaponized for future.
It could be weaponized by not using proper PPE, and you burn your fucking hands.
Look, I'm fairly fucking certain that if we were to mention potential weaponization, that would be a 100% surefire way to ensure said interview does not happen.
Why? Because they want to keep the IP for themselves?
Exactly.
Okay.
This is Lockheed we're talking about.
They're afraid
to share that information
no.
Any goddamn body?
No, they're afraid. They're afraid that the Italians would become a unparalleled force in Europe if that was the case, because I'm sure that is the highest concentration of colander per capita.
I know how to file a patent. So what we could do is we could file a system where an incendiary munition, or even better, a cluster bomb, is placed in a colander.
You're forgetting about something called the Geneva Convention, which
the U.S. Cluster bomb production has been restarted by the United States because they're supplying them to Ukraine to clear the trenches in that the Russians have established near Crimea. So there's actually what you would call almost a renaissance of cluster bombs right now.
That's not a sentence I thought I would hear today.
Right?
But we could help them design, because there's nothing I love more than dead Russians. That's probably going to need to be clipped out. But hey, we could...
There's nothing more than you love about being educated about good colanders.
We could design a cluster munition in which there's a mini colander that these balls would fall through, break against the colander, and release an incendiary munition. We could tell Lockheed that we've patented this and ask their engineer to come on the show to talk about our patent and our prototype, which is my colander. But the only way we could really make it look like a cluster munition is by painting it a bright color that a child would want to play with.
I have to wash my hair now. Returning to our original topic.
I just want to know where you're going to find Mike Ollander.
Yeah. Well, how funny would it be if the guest from Lockheed Martin was called Mike Ollander?
That would be pretty fucking great. And also entirely fictitious.
Not
that I would complain, just stating.
Dove Men's Sport.
How do you know it's Dove? Is it not Dove?
Dove Men's Sport.
How do you know it's men? Could it not be mean?
No, this is men. The care, though, has been wiped off somehow because this moved with me from Montreal. It's a shampoo, conditioner, and deodorizer all in one.
Why does your hair stink bad enough to need a deodorizer?
It doesn't. This was on sale. And I mean, the shampoo you use doesn't matter, does it?
100% fucking does.
Rick, show us your
shampoos. Phosphates.
Microplastic.
Propylene glycol.
Raw sugar.
Truly unruly.
The truly unruly. So raw sugar. The bounce back, because the lady likes to dye her hair.
Okay. So what? Those are both are those both conditioners?
No, the bounce back is the shampoo. The truly unruly is the conditioner. And then what we have in the main shower currently is, I forget the exact title of it, but it's a growth formula, and it's actually matching shampoo and conditioner. These are the ones pulled from the guest bath. Because you know how when you start to get low, you're never going to run out of the shits at the same time. We started to get low, and it was like, all right, I'm just going to order new of both.
Wait, now let's see if these are available in Canada so I can have hair like you.
I got it on Amazon, so...
Yep, that's where I'm going. So Raw Sugar is the brand. And I don't dye my hair, nor does Meredith. So Raw Sugar is giving me sugar in the raw. So it's Raw Sugar shampoo and conditioner. And It does not seem like it's sold in Canada.
Well, sucks to be you.
Certainly not.
or
Certainly
a
not
Klondike
sold in
bar.
Australia. There's only a bunch of trashy romance novels by that name.
Raw sugar romance novels. I
No,
fucking love it.
truly unruly.
Oh,
Speaking of,
Yes.
of sort of romance novels, I don't remember the name of that book you suggested where the person experiences pleasure and pain in the same way.
It is written by Jacqueline Carey, and it's called the Kashiel's Dart trilogy.
Yeah, I have it somewhere on my desk. I started reading it last night. It was actually pretty decent. It was more literary than I expected.
It's very literary.
I mean, it's very dualistic, I would say.
The fact that it's fantasy fiction written in the first person just makes it unique in its own right.
Yeah, that is true. And I'm a big fan of first person narration, in terms of literature. My own novel is being written in the first person, I think.
Is it a novel? I need to know if there's going to be a chapter devoted to a futuristic colander shop where everything is so hyper specialized that you go to the colander shop for your colander, you go to the comb shop for your comb.
Well, given that it's set in a cyberpunk world, no. But I'm going to add in my writing notes here before.
You need to describe a pile of trash, and in it is your very own colander.
A pile of trash. In it
with an SEO-like description
is a colander that the character named HOLO, and then the rest
manufactured by Hollow Industries, because colanders are designed to be hollow.
It is a colander manufactured by Hollow Corp, because they're called corpse in Cyberpunk world. I will include a colander manufactured by Hollow Corp in my novel that will be part of the plot. Someone
It'll be the what do they call it? The MacGuffin.
I promised you that one character, an NPC, will kill another character over this colander. Guaranteed. And I know where I'm going to fit this into the plot.
And somehow Lockheed Martin will be involved.
Lockheed Martin went bankrupt when the United States was pretty much nuked in its entirety. All that's left is like Ohio and parts of Pennsylvania, and they're trying to decontaminate the Washington metropolitan area, but keep failing. The two
because they need to manufacture new age weaponized colanders.
Yeah, England's been fuck. You know who nuked most of the U.S.?
The colander people.
Canada, Australia, and New Zealand.
Oh, fuck me, I guess.
Florida didn't get nuked. It got the radiation just kind of flowed down because we figured you people were already fucked enough.
Just like the wildfire smoke.
It's heavy today, right? Because if you actually do Canada or Calgary I was supposed to say Calgary Bobcat forecast.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Well, by the way, guys,
Calgary Bobcat forecast. They're gonna be vicious today. They're gonna be vicious tomorrow. They'll be vicious the next day. And on the seventh day, they shall rest.
But if you're enjoying this episode of WhiSKR Whispers, please go check out our Calgary Bobcat Services episode. Understand
the full context of this joke.
Understand the full context of this joke. But yeah, we're in a problematic situation because we are currently at moderate risk, but we are heading into
Bobcat attack.
Bobcat attacks. We're entering the high risk 7 to 10 scale tomorrow.
You know that the South Australian fire hazard thing starts at high. It extends to catastrophic.
So do you have a fire pit in your backyard?
No.
Yeah, no, we do. We're still allowed to have that for some reason.
Because the fire will be contained only to that pit, because legally without your consent it cannot go anywhere else.
No, it could never jump to the tree or to my neighbor's fence that's only about 1.5 meters away from the pit. maybe 2 meters at most, to this treated pine fence. It could never ever jump that far, could it? But if I check for the Calgary bobcat,
because you know that in a fire, it's not the flames that kill you; it's the radiated heat.
Or of a smoke, one or the other, kill you before the flames. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Normally it's your lungs that burn out.
Yeah.
Very much so. But there's an interesting thing that's happened. Sightings of Bob have lessened over the last couple of days, and today I discovered that in the last 48 hours, the derelict home behind me, I guess it wasn't a home anymore, which they're turning into a condo. The garage was torn down. I wonder if Bob lived there and hung out in my house. Like,
we'll never know.
Correlation is not causation.
The people will have to come back next week to find out.
Maybe Bob was killed in a tragic bobcat accident when they
a bobcat-related bobcat accident. All right. I think we should be calling it here because I have places to be.
That does sound like a good place to end the episode. Yes.
We need to maintain focus in future installments. Let us know in the comments what we should focus on.
Yes, if you have any suggestions,
you do that. Or if you're able to identify any of our email addresses, send us kindly worded emails about what topics you'd like us to write on. And if you're from Lockheed Martin,
worded emails, I'm used to those.
Yeah, and if you're from Lockheed Martin, let us know if we're able to talk to your principal materials engineer, because we'd like to discuss colanders with them.
We would also like to discuss pretty much anything with your advertising department. So please put us in touch with them as well.
So for today's thing that we did, I've been some bearded man called Steve.
I've been a bearded man called Kevin.
And I have been a bearded man and giver of 0 fucks called Rick.
We will see you all again very soon.
Thank you so much for watching.
Good night.